y'all? It's your girl Kim, and I'm on the patio Kim with my new co-host Quila, and we gonna get it in. I hope y'all ear hustle on our conversation because it's gonna be great. But what's up, girl? How you doing? Introduce everybody to yourself.
Hey everybody, it's Tequila or Quila, however you want to roll with. I'm ready to get started. Let's go.
So we trying something new at the patio with Kim. So it's gonna be the patio with Kim and Keela. And I hope you enjoy how we vibe together. And I'm telling you, she crazy. She crazy. So we hadn't caught up in a little bit. What's been going on with you?
Girl, life has been going on with me.
Well, elaborate.
Being a
Oh,
mother,
my apologies to the audience. She's sitting right next to me. So I'm having a habit of looking at her instead of looking at y'all. So forgive me in advance. And thank you. Shout out to Dat Feeling Podcast Network for sponsoring this podcast.
so yeah, being a mother, being a volunteer, being a friend, being a daughter, being a sister, just life in general, man.
You got a little bit of an echo going on. I don't know if it's me or you now, but it'll work itself out. I ain't worried about it. As long as y'all listen and enjoy, y'all, the echo might even enhance your enjoyment and laughter. Shoot. Uh, Now, on the single parent thing, let's talk about these boys we have. Grumpy McGee, I always give him different nicknames for different stuff. Grumpy McGee, I'm telling you what, every time I wake him up, it takes me 5 minutes just to get him coherent. And then another 5 minutes to say, get up, go in the bathroom, get your teeth brushed, and you wash your face and get dressed because we got to get out of here. And slow Moses, oh my goodness, this boy make me pray at least twice before we get up the street to the bus stop. I be like, okay, deep breath, because we not gonna do this today. We not gonna do this today. And then he get home from for homework and give me even more grief. I'm like, dude, you know we could do this whole packet in like 30 minutes if you would just listen. For one, instead of interrupting me, and for two, accept that I am too old to know how they're teaching you. So I have to show you the best way I know how to teach you, or at least show you that can correlate with what they're teaching you. How are you doing? Because I know you homeschool.
Well,
That's a whole
but other my child does not be up 6 o'clock in the morning to prepare himself to get ready for school. But I still have to wake him up about 6, 7 o'clock to be ready by 9 o'clock.
Wow!
Like where they do that at, right?
Right. Like we done got our tails whooped.
On top of that, he is the hardest sleeper. So to even try to wake him up, I have to pour water. I have to jump on the bed. I gotta pull him.
Don't be waterboarding on my.
Nah, I pour it on his body because he's hot natured.
Mhm.
So to have it poured on his body, it kind of like shocks him. And he be
You
like,
mean spray or pour it? Like a picture. Uh, Damn, he can't even get a little sprit. He gotta get water. I'm gonna need you not to do that to my boy. I'm gonna need you not to do that to
well,
my
he need
boy.
to wake up when I call him the first 20 times.
Hey, I get that. I get that. But now the amount of time it takes, nah, I don't get
But
that.
that's the crazy part. Even after waking him up, telling him to brush his teeth, his normal routine,
Mhm.
he needs to, if he has a live connect, he needs to be logged in by 9 o'clock, 9:30 the latest.
Right.
He still ain't eat breakfast. he's still trying to find his glasses, which should be on his face when he washes his face in the morning. I just don't understand. Like, something is wrong with these new generation
These
children.
2013, 2014 kids, I don't know. I don't know. They came out. First of all, they came out old as I don't know what. They came out like they've been here 10, 20 times before.
Yep.
And then you got the what pandemic baby? Them MFers think they you. Like, hold on, wait a minute, you was not born. Ooh, sorry. You was not born when I was born. You need to go out sit somewhere. Or they act like they your parents or your grandparents. You like, hold on, wait a minute, little girl.
That one right there.
Don't let me snatch them lips.
That one right there. My child thinks he's my daddy, my best friend, my man. Like, come on now.
Girl, you ate man. For you, I know it's your first child, but for me, that second child, ooh, that second child, out of breath.
Hey,
I tell you what, midlife crisis or whatever it was at that time. Mm, I love my boy. I love my boy. I love my boy. He's my rider, but back. Give me 50 feet. Ain't trying to have no copyright infringement, so I need to let you know I do not own the rights to those lyrics I just sang. But and if you didn't know they was lyrics, shame on you. Google it.
but I mean, other than that, like, any of you viewers have any other issues with some of these new babies, these 2013, 2014 children? Because their mouths are ratchet.
The one thing that was cool with mine was I was working an hour and a half away. So that was my travel boy. He didn't get to be exposed to any of the ratchetness until he was 4.
I understand.
So, he was a little, he wasn't proper talking because that's when his speech finally cleared all up, where everybody could understand him. But it'd be like, Mom, you cussed me. And I'd be like, oh, my bad, because I didn't cuss at him. Now, I'd be like, look, you about to make me lose my shit.
See, it was different with mine because when I had him, I was working 12-hour shifts. So being a single mom is hard working 12 hours. And I was working in a facility that they alternated the 12 hours. So he was on day shift for a couple of weeks and then night shift. So it was his time of sleeping and everything was off anyway because the whole time I was working 12 hours when I was pregnant with him. So he would be up at the wrong time and he would sleep at the wrong time. So I had no choice to really allow him to be around other people. I wish he was a different story. And hey, I can only do what I can do now. Keep him at home and try to protect him from the world, even though that's a little hard, even from being in the house.
For you, my son, he's the youngest in the neighborhood, just in our little section, and we live in a cul-de-sac. Now, his friend is 14, but his friend has other needs and services. So he's mostly on my son's level as far as, outside of school. So I don't have a problem with him hanging out with him. But some of them other ones, no. I tell them, look, they teenagers now. You can't rock with them like that because they have a whole different something that you don't need to be listening to. Because the first time you come up in here saying something, I'm snatching lips. You think you just got some teeth taken out this past weekend, boy? You be waiting for some damn dentist fucking around with me. Oh, no, not seriously, because I am not about abuse. And that would be abuse if I knocked his teeth out. But
unless they were loose already and they're supposed to fall out.
Right. Sure. Let's look that up. We in the Commonwealth. But some of them I'll still let them hang out with because they'll just be playing basketball outside. He don't go in their house or their yard. But for the most part, he stick around my house and his homeboy house across the street because he like, I know my mom ain't gonna go there. She ain't with the shit.
See, it's totally different with mine. My young one is outgoing. He got to be in everything. He got to know everybody. And with him being in every sport, every activity at school, knowing everybody, everybody know him, it's a little hard.
Well, I get that because with mine, even though he's an extrovert, he know I have limitations. So when he decides to go outside them limitations, the cops be involved. Cause he come up missing. And I be like, dude, you ain't checking in and out. Where are you? And I call the last place he was at. And then they say, well, he went to so and so house. So I'll go around the corner to the other cul-de-sac, so and so house. Oh no, he ain't here. Now I'm calling the cops because I'm like, my baby missing. I done hit all. Let me take that back. I'll hit every friend's house in this cul-de-sac because there are three other cul-de-sacs off of our street. We're on the main street, so there's no just coming in and out two ways. It's just one way traffic, no matter where you at on any one of these streets. So I hit all his friends' house. When they say no, he ain't there, I'll go around the corner to the school that's behind my neighbor house because I know they like to go to the little playground over there, even though he know he's supposed to ask first. If he ain't there, that's it. Whoop, whoop. Time to call 911. Where my baby at? I don't play about my baby. But the oldest one, he's 26, so I gotta wait, what, 72 hours or some shit.
See, I'm a little different because I don't go out searching first. I look at his locator on his watch to see exactly where he is at. And then I will call him if he don't answer, because I know half the time he's playing basketball or running around, and after listening for the watch to ring, I will text him. Normally he responds back really quickly when he sees that phone light up. And if I don't see him within the vicinity that I told him he's allowed to be in, oh, he know not to play with me because then he would be so embarrassed that he don't even want to be around his friends anymore.
And see, you use technology. My little boy don't. He don't have a phone or watch, nothing. So I'm using old school door to door, which I guess I need to catch up with the times. He was supposed to get a phone last year, but he had an iPhone X that his brother gave him, and it just came up missing one day. He just didn't know where it's at. We done checked all around his house, and it's not in this house. I said, if it's not in this house, either you left it somewhere, or one of your friends, when they was over here, they got you for it. It almost happened once, but I went and got it. So who's to say that someone else didn't get it?
Well, that's why you have to use the semi technology. Don't be going out here like some of these parents buying them expensive iPhones because my 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old don't need no iPhone. I don't even want no iPhone. So he has one of them smart watches that's almost like a prepaid watch.
Okay.
So that if he loses it, guess what? Ain't no shame off my game. That could have just been your McDonald's money. You see what I'm saying?
Now, do they all? I don't even know if they offer something like that with the company I'm with. It starts with a T. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm not promoting anybody
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
company if they ain't promoting my podcast. Oh, excuse me, our podcast.
They do have that one because I know who you're talking about, and I'm trying to get away from them because his watch is currently with him.
Okay.
But you can purchase any type of off-brand watch on Amazon or anywhere. And
I'll have to talk to the older one. I am so not technology savvy. So not.
And then you just get a SIM card. You can go to Walmart and get a SIM card. I mean,
That's that thing that go in the back, right?
that's it.
See, that's how
That,
you know I'm
that's
not
it.
savvy. That's that thing.
So yeah, you don't have to go and get nothing expensive. Just get something basic where you can download the app on your phone
Okay.
and you can have, because I'm one of those parents that I don't need spam callers calling my child. I don't need people who had this number a long time ago and be like, is Bobby so and so here? No. So what I have is make sure you get a program that only has parental controls where you can put who you want
To call.
as a contact on the phone or on the watch.
I would have to probably give him a phone. I don't know that he'll keep the watch up because I bought him a watch so he could get used to wearing
No,
one.
if you get him one of them high technology watches, trust and
Mm.
believe he will keep it on because it got games, it got
Oh
the
shit!
new
No, he don't
watch.
need that because he go to school.
You put it on school mode.
Oh, well, I don't even. I think for his grade, he can't have nothing like that anyway.
Gabriel has had his since he was in first grade.
Oh, okay,
So you just need to talk to the right people, and I'm the right people.
okay.
We can get that situated. But other than that, I mean, it he can put it on school mode, so he can't really play games or do anything besides hit the SOS button. Because nowadays, these kids need a SOS in these schools. It's been so many things going on, and sometimes a teacher can't get an SOS because if you look at the news, it's been majority of the students that have been able to reach out to get help
Right. Contact their
and contact their
parents.
parents. Right. So that's only, and you can put that time frame of when he's in school. Um, and rock it from there. And then, um, my child is upgrading to now he'll have FaceTime on his watch
Oh,
so
okay.
that since you can't answer when I call you and you can't answer sometimes a text, you won't see my face come against that screen.
I wonder, sometimes I wonder if these kids have too much liberation.
They do.
I mean, I understand the generation. I don't know if you're in my generation or not.
We had this conversation before.
Oh, well, okay. In our generation. Because I still be thinking you like generation behind me. In our generation, latchkey kids, I mean, I can remember as far back as I was in first grade and my brother in fourth grade, where we were latchkey kids. Moms had to work during the day, so it's hey, y'all got to get yourselves to school. When y'all get back, you know what to do. Sometimes it'd be something as simple as if we didn't have a phone, leave a note, let me know where you're going to be, but it better be somewhere on this street. And you know what houses you can go to and which ones you can't. Don't let me find you doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing. Because that leather gonna hurt. Or that tree, the switch. But it looked like a tree to me. That switch gonna tear you up. I remember them well. That's the
Yeah.
last thing. Don't come up in here with no twig neither.
Right. Thinking it's going to break and you can get a little.
You're
Nah,
gonna
it's
go
just going to
right
be
back
that.
out there and get the bigger one
Yeah.
now.
It was the same way with me. I have younger siblings, so I was the oldest. And making sure you had your key to get in the house, because if you didn't, guess what? You're going to be SOL. Back then, your neighborhood was your family. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And everybody knew you. Everybody knew your parents, and they'd be like, "Look, wait till your mama or daddy get home. I'm going to tell them after I punish you. You're gonna be in my yard cleaning up or something." Then you have where you needed to make sure if your parents were home that you were in before the street lights came on. You could go outside. We lived outside, girl. Drinking from the water hose. There won't no in and out.
Don't pop that fire hydrant. Oh man, it's on and popping.
See, we ain't had that down here, because we lived in cul-de-sacs and stuff that really
Oh
didn't
no,
have like the fire hydrants and stuff.
I
But you
lived in
would
the
show
city.
enough go and be at somebody's house running their water, and then their parents find out.
Hmm
See what I'm saying? And I was that kid that everybody came over to my house. I had
Oh,
the
okay.
swing sets, the lights, the pool. And remember, it was those small little only able to put your feet in type pool.
Yeah, them
But
little plastic ones.
somehow we made it work where we was in there swimming when we thought we would.
You might as well have ran a bath.
True, had grass all in it, but never
Mhm.
complained. You see what I'm saying?
That
Now,
had the minimum, and you never complained about nothing. You never even thought you didn't have nothing
mm-hmm,
until maybe middle school when you
yeah,
got exposed to more other kids that had stuff.
yeah, it was lock the door, don't answer for nobody,
Hmm.
don't answer for that phone, nobody on the phone. Like, and you knew this was the kid, and I'm feeling my age, but you knew everybody's phone number by heart. You see what I'm saying?
Now I be sitting here trying to think about my own damn phone number. I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's not mine.
Yes, yes. I still remember my old phone number from when I was growing up,
Mm-mm.
and that's crazy because I can't even remember my phone number sometimes. People are like, "What's your phone number?"
Now I can remember my sister. Well, she's not my sister, but my neighborhood sister. I can remember her old phone number, one of my aunt's old phone numbers, and I can remember my dad's phone number. But I we barely had a phone, so whenever we did, it was I can remember it then, but not now.
But
Now addresses, I can give you addresses
oh yeah, me too.
because
But you got to remember back then the numbers were almost similar.
true.
So
You only had to really know the last four, the last five.
exactly. Nowadays you got different area codes, different secret. Like it's just
Right.
everything's all over the
If you
place.
with this company, we know that your number start with XYZ. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. So I understand.
Yeah. But I mean the convenience of it is you can make long distance calls now and there's no extra charge. Back then you couldn't do that. I remember I was using a calling card that my cousin had told me her girlfriend's friend gave it to her. I mean, her girlfriend's mother gave it to her for emergencies. So she was like, "Hey, cuz, you can use this." I had went out of town to Massachusetts, so I was using it to call back. Man, I found out later that the girl had stole it from her mama and was just giving the number out. So I never got to apologize and offer money to the person whose phone I was using because by the time I went to call him, because I found out the phone was disconnected. And Besida, Joe, your mama, I do apologize. I wish I knew how to say it in Spanish because they're Puerto Rican. But Cambridge, Massachusetts, I do apologize for that episode happening. Because Desada, me and her was cool. Now, we met through her brother because I was dating her brother. Well, when me and her brother broke up, me and her still stayed cool. And, he tried to entice me one time. I was like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for your sister. But anyway, let me roll back into what we were talking about because, I can go off on a tangent. I've already told them several times. I can have 10 conversations in one. Get that from my mama. Love you, mama. But even with us being latchkey kids, with knowing the certain people, we didn't have to worry so much about being kidnapped or none of that. That was very rare. We could walk down the street to the store owner knew you, the neighbors who knew you on the way back would sit out there and wait for you to get to wherever you was going. Now it's like kid gets snatched. It'd be almost 48 hours later before anyone gets an alert.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know they got the Amber Alert now, and I know there's a couple other alerts for kids.
But it's still not the same because we still learned about stranger danger. Um, and it's still the same process where if somebody come up to you and say, Auntie told me to come get you, your mama told me, we had a password or something that we had to go off of. These kids now, oh, you want some candy? You want some?
They just walk right up to
I
him.
mean, it's
Sure.
just you
Don't
see
let
what
them
I'm saying?
offer money.
Oh, that one right there.
Hey, you mind washing my car for me? Hey, you mind mowing my grass for me? Hey, you mind watching my puppy for me?
Mm-mm. See, my child knows if I do not give the okay, and we still use like little secret codes, whatever.
Mhm.
If that person don't have that code, or I did not tell you, I don't want you walking up to that person talking about, are you Miss such and such, or are you Mr. Such and such? No, they get to come to you and say, my name is, and this is your code. Like, if they don't say that, you don't go nowhere with it. Like, I don't even care if they are a family member or a friend of your mama or a friend of grandma or grandpa. If they don't have it, go nowhere.
Mhm.
Like, it's just, and it's scary because I don't want my child out in the front yard playing because at a blink of an eye, a car could come flying past and, do something like that. Hey, we're not going to put that in the atmosphere. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's that simple. So it is a little hard.
The other hard part is with the age they're coming into, them double digits, they smelling themselves. So it's that male figure they need to kind of step in right now. Like my boy, he don't have no problem in my face saying he got a girlfriend. I was like, ho ho ho, you ain't got a girl, nothing. You got a classmate. You ain't got no girlfriend. I'm like, you 9 years old. You ain't even 10 yet. What you know about a girl? I said they're gonna look better, smell better, and be doing better later on in life. So they ain't gonna want nobody who's uneducated, who's not well representing themselves or anything. So you need to go on. Not that he's like that, but you need to go on ahead. You ain't learned those true aspects of being a young boy or even a young man yet. So
Yeah, see, my parents growing up, it was the don't come, don't call situation. And even though I was still smelling myself and I was doing the stuff I was supposed to be doing, uh, I still was, testing it out because I saw all my other friends doing it.
mm,
Now with my son is the same thing. He's a very handsome young man, and since second grade, he's had this little girlfriend. Um, and I was like, hold on, I'm your girlfriend, I'm your mama, your best friend, I'm whatever you need because right now we're focusing on education.
right.
Um, but this little girl is a sweetheart. I know her family. I've I had to make myself know who I was. But they've been real close friends for these last 3 years. And, you know, we still talk about that's just your friend. That's a friend, that's a girl. That's the only type you need right now. Because he's like, yeah, when are we having play dates? When we not
Oh,
having no play? Boo,
mine ain't that advanced yet,
boo.
but
He is so
he
fascinated with
old
this
enough for shaking baby now. As long as I don't shake him hard enough to snap that neck or the spine or anything or break nothing, he old enough for shaking baby. Just
guy.
snatch him and hold him in place. What you talking about?
And he goes and tells his little football brothers, yeah, I got a girlfriend. Her name
Mm-mm.
is such. He done invited her to football cookouts and everything.
Oh,
So
he got her
everybody,
as part of the family.
except man, everybody knows this little girl. And he is just so head over heels. He walks, well, he used to, because they don't go to the same school no more. Because I pulled him out. Like I said, he don't go to brick and mortar. He at home.
Mm.
But he used to walk her to her car and make sure she was in her vehicle. And then he would walk either to my car or walk home. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
So
at least
he
he
was
was a gentleman about it.
very, very. But even her parents were like, my son is a gentleman. And some of these other kids, she said, I don't know what's going on with these other kids. Like, I
Right.
don't know.
I know
So
what she mean because some of these other kids, I'm like, y'all already did the business and talking on. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
I knew people that had done that back in the day, but it's a lot more common now. And I'm like, well, who is showing you this? And I understand there's a lot of exposure with movies and the lyrics and all that stuff. But at some point, somebody has to be saying, look, this is just what they're doing, what they're saying, or whatever. This is not actual something in your life, so you need not to go down. And it's like they're being praised for it.
But they're teaching it also in school. You see what I'm saying? At an earlier age now, because the hormones are certain at an earlier age than when we were growing up. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because my son came home one day talking about, yeah, mom, um, I know how you and my daddy made me. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what?
That? I ain't seen no science
I don't
like
know
that.
what you're talking about. And he was like, yeah, me and the kids were in the classroom and they was telling which holes. I hope what, huh? Like,
Oh,
holes? I said, how many holes are
duplicate.
you talking about?
Right.
Like, hey. So, you know, he makes little slick comments like that. He like, yeah, mom, you and my daddy made love. I said, no, it was a couple minutes, you know, a couple of
Ah,
seconds.
don't do that.
It
Don't
was,
do
it was,
that.
it was something,
I can't
okay.
say nothing. I was drunk. I don't remember. Not that I
So,
wasn't willing, because I was the one talking about, oh, I'm about to get this. I'm about to get this. Well, I
yeah,
got it all right.
because he was like, yeah, mommy, when I get married and we have kids, first of all, talking about you're 9
Right.
and you're 2 months before you're 10. Let's not talk about me being no grandma no time soon, because yeah.
My son came home with something that was, when I read it, I was like, oh, that's depressing. They was like, what would you be doing at 100 years old? And he was like, missing my family because they're all dead and having a dog because, I can't have pets. I was like, well, damn,
I
what are
remember
they
that.
doing to these kids?
That was the 100 years
Yes.
assignment.
Like,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. I was like, we was not thinking about death at 9. We was thinking about friggin' dolls and trucks and shit. I'm trying
Yes.
not to say, specific brands, because I'm telling you, if they ain't sponsoring it, I ain't giving nothing free.
Yeah, but these kids, they're moving really, really fast.
Yeah.
Really, really fast. And I look up and I'm like, geez, he's almost 10. And I remember when I found out I was first pregnant. So you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So at a blink of an eye, you know, these kids are growing up and you gotta, to me, I would rather have that sit down and talk with my son than these schools, because you don't know what these schools are teaching these kids, because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? And I even got so technical to making him sit down and watch videos,
Oh,
because my thing is I don't want him to have that perception of the talk that he's hearing from other people
mhm.
and not actually, because he's a very visual person. He's
Oh,
hands on. So I had to show him what a egg looked like. I had to show him what the little tadpoles look. He knows all of it. He
wow.
knows how
I
to
ain't had to
read.
do none of
He
that.
knows he knows all that. I
Well,
even showed him how the baby is growing inside. Like that's how
oh, Lord,
technical I
you done
got.
scarred him. I thought I scarred my older boy, but you done scarred him.
Well, that's not the point, but that was the point,
Right.
because I don't want you going out here, because they always say daddy's babies,
Yeah.
mommy's babies.
Yeah.
My child's not going to be one of those people. You see what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
you lay down and you think you got the balls to do something like that, you're going to be the one that's going to be taking and helping raise it. You see what I'm saying? So you can know
My
how to do it.
situation's a little different than that.
You know what I'm saying? You know how to do it. And if you start getting yourself in that smelly predicament, guess what?
Oh, definitely. I ain't no grandma. You, that's you all day.
My mama still tell me to this
I
day,
used to tell him and his girlfriend, don't make nothing you can't take care of.
you better go out here
I'm
and get one
taking
of
care.
these real
And
live
then I
babies.
point at Shiloh and be like, I'm taking care of mine.
Hmm. Go get one of them babies that we used to have in home ec.
We didn't have that.
Oh, really? Oh, that baby got
Yeah, but
on my
we're from
nerves.
2 different states.
That's true. But that baby got on my nerves.
Oh
And it
no.
only cried like at random times. Like it didn't cry like a normal baby. Like, even though normal babies don't cry at a certain time. But like I could be in church and that baby just cried.
Oh, babies do cry at church.
No, it cried the whole service.
It was missing its real mom.
Like, man.
Turn me off. My batteries are dying.
And you would think that, I don't know what they had in them bionicle babies. But it taught me a lesson because I ain't had mine until I was 29 years old. Like,
I was 21, almost 22 with the first one, but I was 38 with this last one. So that's a 16-year gap. Trust and believe, I'm feeling every one of them 16-year differences because everything has changed, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still catching up from that one. And he grown now.
But I mean, we gotta figure it out. And on top of that, with these kids now, like they're just forcing them to roll up fast. You see what I'm saying? And they're not taking the time to educate these kids like they're supposed to. It's all about right. They need to go back to the old version because I know when I was in school, my back got real strong because of all them books I was carrying.
Oh yeah.
These kids don't. They carry a book bag for what?
2 folders, maybe 3 on a good day, and school supplies when school starts. And school, whatever's left over when school over, that's it.
See, and that's why I'm glad he's at home now because he get real textbook.
And they don't get homework on the after Thursday. They turn in their homework Friday, and that's it. I'm like, okay, and then they use those Chromebooks all day. So I'm like, I started teaching my son how to write cursive. Now, I haven't given him more cursive lessons because I'm still trying to get him to write smaller. But
what's up with this big letter, little letter, big letter? Like you are taught if it's not a name in the middle of a sentence and it's not I, then everything else is lowercase, or if it's not a title or something. But my child will write his name with a big letter, a little letter, but it's a capital letter as a little letter.
Right.
And I'm like, and then he'll write little,
it's like they afraid to go under the line.
Yeah.
I be like, them P's circle's supposed to be on the line. And the line is supposed to go down under. It's like they afraid, and I'm like, well, see, that's where they failed with phonics. I remember them blue, red, purple, green phonics books that you had in class with it seemed like 1,001 pages in it, even though it was only this thick, and it had them composition type things, and you had to do it the way the book showed you. But they don't have that anymore. But anyway.
But yeah, the school he's in now, they do. They have him, and his textbooks are like this. And they have different, old school versions of learning. They still are technology based, but they're going back to the old school. They do field trips. You see what I'm saying? They do that kind of things that's what's missing out of school nowadays.
Yeah, they don't go on. They go on maybe one field trip, and I'm like, okay, so what? You took them to the aquarium. So what? You took them to the zoo. What about those other interactive things that they should be going to? Like, I understand there's not much to keep a 9 or 10-year-old interested in like an aerospace museum, but you can combine that with the other museum that has the planes and stuff.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, at 9, 10 years old, and they can't say they don't have that anymore here because we do. We took a bus to the landfill, which is now down trash more when I was growing up. And yeah, you were on that bus, seeing the seagulls flying, the trash is stinking. You trying to keep the windows up, but the smell's still coming through there, and you feel like the bus about to tip over because it's going like this.
Now remember,
Yeah.
these kids ain't been exposed to life
But
because
that's
they
what they
don't
need.
play outside.
That's what they need, though. That's what they need. They need to see how things are created. They want to continue to go to these parks and these amusement places and, you know, go do sports. But they need to see how this stuff is created by physical
Because
people doing something. You
one
see what I'm
day they
saying?
gonna be adults, and at this age, it's the pivotal age to enforce that stuff because they was too young to learn this stuff and absorb it. Now they shouldn't have any problem with absorbing what they learned from going to these places.
Yeah. And then on top of that, looking at how they're advancing these kids when these kids don't need to be advanced. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? I understand COVID came and, stopped just about everything, which was stopping social skills, stopping the actual understanding of school. But to have some of these kids advance when they should not be advancing, and you're putting these grades on these kids that these kids don't even understand. That's why I'm loving where my child is because he got 3 grades. It's called uh, compliance,
Okay.
process compliance, and non-compliance. So why are we going to put letter grades on these kids? I understand we grew up with letter grades, but you're not showing these kids letter grade material. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And then the numbers don't correlate with the letters. So that leaves a kid in limbo because if I get an 85, that's a B.
Yeah.
I should be getting no B minus or no C plus. 85 is a straight up B.
Yeah.
But they want to know they haven't standardized the education system across the board, and they're not gonna. So that's how one of the ways they suffer.
Where you go, Kim?
I'm not here.
No, you're not there. Huh? You frozen.
Oh,
see, technical difficulties
you know
already.
Me, you know me. You know me. No, I'm over here making sure everybody know that we still alive.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that on that end, anybody else got any questions or thoughts about these younger new age children? Even when it comes down to the technology, it's like coming out of the womb, they already know how to use a phone, a computer, a game. Like they already are so advanced. Cause yeah, I'm still, even though the pages was in my life, I'm still trying to figure out how to use computer. Like that's
shoot, I knew how to use a pager.
but the thing is, I was not really a tech type child. Even though we had the dial up and all that stuff, it was just not something that I was into. You see what I'm saying? It was go outside and play hide and go get it, which we won't go do again because we were tired of playing hide and go seek. We played house, we played, jump hopscotch, double dutch. You see what I'm saying? Riding bikes.
Cat's cradle with the
everything. Like you see what I'm saying? And looking at it now, I be like, sometimes, and then even though it was hot as a dickens outside, we still was outside.
quarter water and a little bag of chips that cost 25 cents. All you needed.
It's hot now. I don't even know how I'm surviving, but we survived that. Yeah.
Right.
So,
and I love the heat, but it been on 1,000. Mother Nature been smoking blunts or something. Shoot.
Man,
Mother Nature built a bonfire and was like, oh, let's see how y'all do. But let's talk about some of the other things that you mentioned when we first started, like relationships.
Yeah.
To me, it's harder to be a woman and a single parent
Yes.
and date than a man. To me, it seems like a woman who dates a man that has children is more accepting of the situation. Not to say it's an ideal situation, but more accepting of the man that has the children. Whereas the man's like, oh nah, or they'll accept you to a point. Just because you got a child, and you like, I'm not asking you for nothing for my child or to do anything for my child. But you can't just accept that I have a child, or you can't just accept me and my child.
Been there, done it, can write a book 2 times over. One guy I dated, he was accepting of my child. Mind you, like I said, I only have one. He had three, and I was willing and I accepted all three of them, even though one was old enough to take care of herself. Um, and I would go above and beyond. I would treat them children just as if they were my own itself that I birthed out. And it was more of he forgot his role as a dad.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
he like, she got it.
Right. And I'm like, that this is not going to work. You know, there's no other circumstances that happened that ended that relationship, which we're not going to talk about right now. But that was one situation. Then I had another situation where the gentleman pretended as if he was interested in being there for my child. And he had, when I first met him, he said he only had 5 children. Come to find out, he got more than that. But, you know,
Right.
and as the weeks and months grew, he wasn't there for none of his kids nor mine. And he really despised mine because he felt like mine was getting more attention and more privileges, which one, he's my child.
Right.
But I treated all his kids equally. If they did something wrong, they were punished just as if my child was punished. I tried to put them in activities, and he would always rebel against it. And I'm like, you're not allowing your children to be children. You're expecting them to be adults. And that's the problem we have nowadays, where these kids are teaching themselves and they're growing up too fast. And you have a teenager who is still trying to be a kid at the same time, raising their siblings. You see what I'm saying? So, me being willing to accept all his kids, and even the ones I eventually found out later, I'm like, dude, you love your dog more than you love these kids. And it's sad, but why is that?
That part I can't explain. You know, my situation's totally different. I'm not gonna get into it because I believe I've talked about it on previous episodes, and it's really not worth me even breathing life into it again. But I do know gentlemen who have said things that made you believe, yes, this person's gonna embrace me and my child, and even if we depart ways, they'll still embrace my child, and then who dating? Or they'll be the one to say, well, I'm not trying to be nobody daddy, but did I ask you to? No. You knew I had a child when I came in. It's not my fault that he migrated to you. And so, man, whatever.
Yeah, I think because I have a friend from 20 plus years, and he looks at my child as his own because he knows that he's been there before where he didn't have a male figure in his life. He's not trying to be bad. He's not trying to do any of that. He's just trying to guide him in the way that he needs because we as mothers can always say, you know, we're going to take care of ours. Whatever we're supposed to, we're in your type. But we cannot be a male. That's one thing we just can't be. There are certain things that we can teach our child. to be a young man, but it's things that we cannot teach because we are not and never have been a male.
Even
So,
if we were to make ourselves a male, we still ain't no male. I am not trying to offend any of the people in that group
No, we're not.
because I get confused on the letters. So that's why I say the group. But
But it's the
it's
truth.
true.
It's true because I know friends that are in that group and they still understand exactly that, yes, I may be going through this process. I may be taking this and that to help me develop into this. But because I was not born physically, like, I don't understand it. I'm trying to make my own understanding of what it is. So we're not knocking you guys.
And you haven't lived it as such.
Yes.
That's all. That's the only thing. You haven't lived it as such. So you can only give so much to a situation when you've only lived it as such versus being that actual.
Yes.
That's all we say.
Yes.
Because I am not trying to offend nobody. Please, Lord Jesus. Because, excuse me, I normally don't bring stuff up like religious in the podcast. So I apologize for that too, because I ain't trying to offend nobody. I am a spiritual more than I am religious, but that came out. So, namaste.
But it's the truth though, we gotta still understand the human anatomy. That's basically all I'm saying right now. You see what I'm saying? And me trying to raise a little boy and he coming to me saying, Mommy, this. I'm looking at him like,
It's in the DNA. It's in his genetics. When that little fella come over and it don't and that tail break off and make him a Y, that automatically give him information that we don't have. Whenever he broke off, I don't know. It gave him some more wisdom in his area.
yeah. But I mean, it, we just have to kind of really back to how things need to be processed. You see what I'm saying? Whether you're a single mom, single dad, single grandparent, single guardian, whatever you may be, it's still the fact that there is going to be that void somewhere, some form, some fashion, whether it's a small void or a large void. It's going to be there, and you still need to have those resources. You see what I'm saying? So that is very important, especially nowadays, because society has tried and they still are trying to change some of the things that should not be changed.
In your opinion. Right. I'm just saying that because if you don't put that caveat out there,
yeah, I don't want y'all coming for my neck. Don't come for my neck. That is my opinion.
I mean, if you gonna come in the comments, that's fine. But outside the comments, we don't want no smoke. We don't want no trouble. But it's been great talking to you, and I want you to take the wheel outside and all.
Really? You want?
Yeah. You do your thing.
Well, it's been nice speaking to y'all. We will do this again. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and we'll check the comments later. Make sure that you sit here and tune in to us next time for the next outcome of the video.
That Feeling Podcast Network. Hit us up on Patreon for all the exclusives, all the perks. You're missing out. Talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.